Hello and welcome. I am Mr. Murphy, and today in this video we're going to be looking at power standard number 12. In power standard number 12, the purpose of that is to help us learn how to come up with an equation of a line when we are given a graph. And so that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to give us a graph and we're going to use what we've learned so far to come up with that equation for that particular line. So let's go back and let's review what we've talked about so far. We've learned about the slope-intercept form of a line is in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. We've also talked about the point-slope form of a line, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And remember, m is your slope again, and the x1 and the y1 are a coordinate on the line. And remember also that the slope of a line is represented by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Today in this video we're going to be using these three different pieces. So let's look at what we're going to be trying to find. So here they give us a graph, and in the graph it looks like they give us a couple of points are very clearly given to us there, and we want to come up with the equation of a line that's going to go through those 2 points. Now, a little note here. Notice how the points that they gave us, none of them are on the y-axis. So don't just assume there that the y-intercept is going to be 3. It looks like it might be really close to 3, but it doesn't look like it's going to be exactly 3, so we don't want to make that assumption. But we do know that we have a coordinate there. It looks like the coordinate negative 2, 2, and it looks like the other coordinate is the coordinate 5, 5. So we're going to use those 2 points to come up with the equation for this line. So let's do that. Okay, so we have, again, the coordinate this one's positive 5, and this one is the coordinate negative 2, positive 2. So knowing that, well, we need to find our slope here, because whether we're going to be able to use point-slope form or slope-intercept form, either form requires us to know the slope. Using rise over run, we would rise up 3 units and go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So we go up 3 over 7. So my slope here is going to be 3/7. And now I need to use, because I can't use my can't use my slope-intercept form, so we have to use a point-slope form. So we could pick either coordinate here to plug into that formula. I could use the point negative 2, 2, or I could use the point 5, 5. Either way, you're going to end up with the right answer in the long run. So as far as preferences are concerned, some people don't like using negative numbers, so if they can avoid it, they won't use them. Other people don't have a problem with it, so maybe they want to use the smaller numbers like negative 2, 2. But like I said, it doesn't matter. Let's use the coordinate 5, 5. So we'll do y minus the y value, which is 5, so y minus 5 equals our slope of 3/7 times x minus the x value, which just so happened to also be 5. So now I'm going to distribute my slope through. And 3/7 times 5 is going to be negative 15/7. We want to be exact here. Do not use a decimal, because sometimes those decimals are not going to terminate, or they keep going on and on and on forever. And if we round, we're not giving an exact answer, we're giving an approximation. So we don't want to round here. We want to have the exact equation here. So now my next step is to get the y by itself. So to do that, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Now we want to be careful because I can't add negative 15/7 plus 5. So I'm going to change this 5 so it's going to be a fraction with a common denominator of 7. So to do that, you just take and multiply the 5 by 7, which is 35. So this will be the same as 35/7. Now I can add that to the negative 15/7, and when you do that, you get 20 over 7, or 20/7. So this would be our equation. Our equation would be y equals 3/7 x plus 20/7. So I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you to come up with an equation for this line in slope-intercept form. Again, don't just guess what the y-intercept would be. It looks like it might be at 5.5, but we can't assume that. We have to use the points that they give us. which are the coordinates 1, 3, and the coordinate 3, negative 2. So why don't you take a minute and find the equation for this line. So pause the video and hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, let's see how you did here. Again, the first step is to figure out what the slope is using rise over run. In this case here, you would rise down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, so it would be a negative 5. And our run would be going to the right, would be a positive 2. So my slope is negative 5/2. That can't be reduced at all, so we'll leave it just like that. So now I want to use any of these points. Maybe you like using positive numbers, so maybe use the point 1, 3. So let's do that here. So it'll be y minus the y value would be y minus 3 equals my slope of negative 5/2 times x minus the x value, so it'll be x minus 1. Distribute the negative 5/2 through. So we have y minus 3 equals negative 5/2 x plus 5/2. And now we want to add 3 to both sides. So we end up getting y equals negative 5/2 x. But again, this 3, we can't add that to the 5/2 because it's not a fraction. So I want to change that to a fraction with a common denominator of 2. So multiply the 3 by 2 and you get 6. So we're going to add 6/2 here. Plus 5/2 would give us 11/2. And there's your answer. There you have it. That is power standard number 10. So you now hopefully can successfully find the equation of a line when given its graph. So with that, good luck on your future power standards.